Welcome back guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this tutorial I'll show you guys how to create this concept artwork in Adobe Illustrator. So these type of artworks you can use in your website or branding for any project. So let's say if you are designing a website for a product or a company, you can stick to these type of flat design characters and these type of elements in your artwork, and you can continue them in all of your design elements so that you can easily create a brand identity. And also you can easily pass a message through these kind of visuals like infographics. We are just straight away telling a message. We are just marketing this product in here. So today in this tutorial I will show you guys how to do this kind of graphics step by step using Adobe Illustrator. And to start the workflow, normally what I will do is I will go and search for this kind of inspiration. You can go into this free pick or even for these sites to find this type of artworks in here. You can see this is a very good artwork. You can easily create a brand identity with this type of designs. You can easily pass the message through this type of graphic designs. Okay, so we have other examples in here with small animation. So if you are doing animation, it's better to follow all of these small animation in all of your designs so that you can easily create a brand identity. Okay, so we have some more examples in here. This is a little bit more advanced, so we can create one like this in the future. Okay, and guys, before we start, if you guys want more advanced tutorial, you can go into my channel and join as a member, and in here you can find all of my advanced tutorials and slower versions of without videos as well. Okay, all right, so let's get started. So before I start, what I do is normally I go in and make a sketch in here. You can see I already have an idea how I'm going to present in that design. So I made a very rough sketch in here. So based on this, I'm going to start drawing the artwork. Okay, so let's get started. Alright guys, so first thing what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to prepare the colors for this artwork. So these colors are based on the corporate colors of the company or website, whichever you are going to create this artwork is for. So in my case, I already have the colors from the company which they wanted. So I'm going to draw a rectangle in here, a large rectangle, and for this one we don't need any stroke, so select the stroke and make it as none. Go to the fill color. Okay, so the first color is F2B544. all right, and I'm going to make a copy from here, alt and drag, and for this one it's going to be F2D649. all right, let's make them a little bit more smaller and let's place it. We have 5 colors in total, and for this one it's F21D56, and this is going to be 7168A6. last one is 8C3B4A. Alright guys, so now I have my colors in here. So our artwork is going to be mostly based on these colors, and we don't have to use exactly only these colors. We can use some shades from these colors and also some other colors like white and black as well. It's all based on your artwork, but whatever the colors you are using, whatever the style you are using, you have to follow in all the characters and artworks in the same category or same website or same anything for the branding. Okay, so that's how you can create a brand identity for any of these websites or company or whatever. Okay, all right, so now we can simply keep them in here and we can copy these later on, or you can go into your libraries and you can save in here if you are working with multiple computers. So you can simply create a new library and name the company name or the color name. So for this one I'm just going to say temp, and so once you create the group you can select them individually and go and create a new fill color from here. So just select all of them and you can select the fill color for each of them. So once you have created this, you can access these in any of your computer using your Adobe ID or the shared one if you are shared with other designers. Okay, so now we can delete them, and let's go into the properties and go to the layers, and I'm going to name this one as BG. All right, so let's draw a background. I'm going to select the rectangle again, and I'm going to draw a rectangle to fit into our artboard. Okay, and I don't like this color. Maybe we go to the library and choose the yellow color. Okay, so this artwork is going to be based on this yellow BG. So all our other artworks are going to be same. So we will be placing yellow as the base background color. From there we can use other colors to represent the artwork. All right, we can lock this layer for now, and let's go and create a new layer. For this, I'm going to name as character. And guys, one thing you need to consider, if you are going to animate these characters in the future, let's say in After Effects or any other application, in here when you are creating this character, you need to separate them to individual layers. So for an example, if you want to make some hand movements and leg movements, you need to separate them in here as separate layers, hands and legs, each of them in one of its own individual layers. Generally, you can bring them into After Effects and animate them. Okay, so in our case, we are not going to animate it for this tutorial, so I'm just going to keep it as one layer. All right, you can create them in one layer, later on separate them also, but it's easier for you guys if you are divided while you are creating. All right, okay, so now let's go ahead and start our character design. For that, I'm going to start with the head, and this time I'm going to select an ellipse in here. Go and select the ellipse, and for this I'm going to draw a oval shape like this. All right, okay, and for this, go to libraries, and I'm going to apply a color from here. All right, and now let's bring this one little bit behind this anchor point. You can go to direct selection tool and select this anchor point and just bring it below like this. Okay, looks good. And now I'm going to select this one in here and just going to make little bit pointy like this. We can do the same for other side also. Little bit more point here. All right, maybe we can bring this one high. Okay, so now we have the head. So we are going for a very simple character in here, and for this, as I said guys, you don't have to use exact colors. You can use a lighter tone of this color. So you can select this color and double click, which will open up this color picker, and in here you can see there are different values. For this, I'm going to select the brightness, and we can bring the brightness a little bit more higher so that it will stay with the same color tone, but we are only increasing the brightness. So I think this color look okay, and I'm just going to say okay. So it's going to be a unique character color design, and we just stick to this color. All right, okay, so then the next step, let's make this one a little bit more smaller. Place it in here. Next step, I'm going to draw the neck, and for that I'm going to do Alt and drag, make a copy, and this one I'm going to go in here into the rotate tool, and all here you can find the reflect tool in here. Okay, so select the reflect tool and again double click, and in here you can choose the horizontal. All right, and say okay. And if you guys in any way couldn't find these tools, you can go in here to this button and select this one. You can find all other tools which are missing from here. So whatever tool you need, you can just simply drag and drop. Okay, all right, and this one I'm just going to bring it in here, make it smaller, and just place it in here like this, and maybe we can bring this one a little bit more higher like that. All right, and now select this one, right click and arrange, send it to backwards. Okay, maybe let's bring it like that. All right guys, so now we don't see any difference in here, and to make a difference we can do that easily. Just select this one, Control C, and Shift Control V, which will place the object in the exact place. Now hold the Shift and Alt key and make it a little bit more bigger like this. You have to hold the Shift and Hold key, because if you don't hold the Shift and Hold key, what will happen is like if you hold the Shift key, it will come like that. It will make the object bigger by holding the center points in here. All right, so hold the Shift and Hold key and make it bigger like this a little bit. All right, now we can select both of these objects and go to the Pathfinder. And again guys, if you watch my tutorials before, if you don't find these, you can go in here to Windows and activate them from here. Okay, go to the Pathfinder and make a divide. All right, so now this object has been divided into 3 pieces, but because once you click the Pathfinder, it will make the object as one group, so we don't need the top portion. Double click and select this one and delete. All right, so now we have this object. Again, you have to send this object to behind. Right click, arrange, and send it to backwards. Now you can select this portion in here and go to the colors and now apply this color. All right, so now we have this nice shadow in here. Okay, so now our head and the neck is ready. Now let's draw the body. We can make this one smaller. So while we are adding in things, we can make them smaller gradually. Okay, let's make it smaller. And for the body, I'm going to use go into the rectangle and draw a rectangle like this. Okay, very simple design. Now select both of them and make it center. For this one, you can right click, arrange, send it backwards. And for this, I'm going to apply this red color in here. Sorry, the pink color. Okay. And now first I'm going to select these 2 anchor points, and using this corner radius, we can make this one like this. Okay, almost like that. All right, now go to the plus anchor point. We have to add a anchor point here, but make sure you are adding in the center. So when you move in here, you can see it's indicating the center. So you can just click in here and now select this anchor point and bring towards upwards like this. Okay, maybe until like that. All right, looks good. Now we can select both of these anchor points and make them as rounded corners as well. Now we have this smooth curve in here, which look like the shoulder area. All right, and now we can bring these to inverse. Before that, if you watch my previous tutorial, you can go to Control and K, which will bring this preferences settings, and in here for the keyboard increments, I'm going to say 15. Okay, now select this one, press once, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. All right, so we have to do the same for other side also. Select this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, like this. Okay, so our laptop will be in here, so we don't need to worry about this portion. Before that, we need to have some details in here. Okay, and for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and select the ellipse tool and draw an ellipse like this. All right, and yeah guys, it's a girl, so we have to put some details like this in here. Let's make it here like that, and select both of them, make as a united object, and now select these 2 and make them center. All right, now you can select all of them and make as one object. Again, you can select, right click, arrange, send to backwards. Okay, now again, you guessed it already, select these 2 and make as rounded corners like this. All right, so now we have the body shape of a girl in here, and let's start drawing the laptop. And for the laptop, again, go and select the rectangle. and draw a rectangle like this in here, and we can center all of them. And for the laptop, I'm going to apply this color for now. Later on we can change. Okay, so select this one, and I need to make this perspective angle. So let's bring this like earlier. Select this one and bring it towards inside. 1 2 3, and this one also 1 2 3. All right, and make these as rounded corners like them. Okay, and we can make one copy. And for this, I'm going to, let's bring it in here, almost touching it. And for this, I'm going to apply a different tone. Maybe let's change the colors. For this, I'm going to bring it a little bit more darker, and this one let's stick to the same color. Okay, all right, now let's go in and put another detail to the bottom portion. And for this, I'm going to get the colors from here and make it a little bit more darker like this. All right, now let's go in here, make all of them as smaller object. Okay, maybe we can bring these. Okay, select all of these and make as a group, Control G. Now we can bring this a little bit more wider like this. Okay, all right, now let's add in the hands. Okay, for hands, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and going to choose the pen tool, and I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to draw from here, create an anchor point, and go all the way to here and click and drag. So we want this shape in here, and we can bring it here and bring towards here. Okay, now we can go in here and like this, and one in here, and we can bring it in here. All right, so now we have this hand, but you can see these places doesn't look like a hand. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the direct selection tool, and let's bring it in here and make as a rounded corner like this. Okay, and for this, let's do like that. Now press Ctrl K again. Now we don't need 15 per pixels in here. Let's make it as 1. Now let's bring this inside a bit. Same in here also, like this. Maybe this one we can bring towards inside a bit. All right, now you can select this one and arrange and send it to backwards. Maybe let's bring this one a little bit more longer like that, and bit more inside. All right, for this also I'm going to apply this color in here. Maybe now let's bring this one a little bit more darker like this, maybe a bit more. All right, and for this I'm going to cut it in here, go into the pen tool and make a cut like this. Select this and make a divide. Okay, now we have these as two objects, and for this I'm going to press I, or you can select the eyedropper tool and get the colors from here. Now we can go in here and edit this a bit. Select the direct selection tool, and this one, select this one and bring it a little bit outside like this. Same for this one also, and we can make them as rounded corners like this. Okay, so now we can adjust the proportions in here. We can bring this one to the top like this, maybe rotate a bit, and I think this should come like this. All right, yeah, I think this is okay. Maybe we can bring this one a little bit more bigger like this. Okay, so this look better now. Now what I'm going to do is select this again, go to the reflect tool and double click, and this time select the vertical and make a copy. Okay, so now we have two hands. Just select this one and bring it in here. And you can select both of them and go to the align tool and align them to the top. So you can see we are seeing these two on top, which we have to bring it down a bit. Okay, let's bring down a bit. Now we have our proper hands. All right, so now our character is shaping up. Before we make this one smaller, let's add in the hair as well. Okay, and for the hair also, I'm going to use the pen tool. Go in here and select the pen tool, and I'm going to draw something like that. Starting from here, make one anchor point, make it as a base here corner. Let's bring it like that. And you don't have to get this right at the first time. We can change them later on also. Just bring it in here like this. And we can close this like that. Okay, now we can go into the direct selection tool and adjust them. All right, let's bring it here like that. Okay, this look good. And now I'm going to do the same for other side also. Go in here. This time we can start from here, like that. Bring it like this. And we can bring in here and close this like this. Okay, and let's bring this one here and let's make it like a long hair. Same for this one also. And for these, I'm going to get the colors from here, but let's make them very dark, maybe all the way to here. All right, this look better. Now we have drawn the hair on top, so now I want to do the same, but this time I want to do behind, so that the hair can go behind the shoulders in here and here as well. Okay, and for this what I'm going to do is go into layers. First let's draw the shape we wanted, so I'm going to continue from here like this, so something like that, but I'm going to draw something like this. Okay, now select this, arrange and send it to backwards. Now you guys can edit this one the way you want. All right, and for this one let's make it go as a flow from here to the bottom. Let's bring it in here and let's make this one like this. All right, okay, looks good. Now I'm going to do the same for other side also. Maybe let's start from here, one, and in here two, and we can draw like this. Okay, again right click, arrange and send it to backwards. We can play with these to get the flow right. I think this one look better now, and this one I'm going to edit again a bit like this, and let's bring this one here and make this as like this. Okay, all right, one more shape in here. I'm going to draw something like that. And for this I'm going to apply even more darker tone. This will be the hair behind. Okay, so just select these, this one here and this one, right click, arrange, send it to backwards. Okay, so now we have this nice shape in here. We can even bring this like this, something like that. This one also like that. This one maybe we can edit a bit. Alright guys, this look better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some shadows in here as well. Select, create an anchor point in here, and one more in here. Try to follow the hairs. One in here, and we can bring it in here and close it over here. Okay, and now we can go in here and close the shape. And for this I'm going to get the colors from here, and Control X, which will cut. Now we can double click to open this one and paste it on top. Shift Control V. Okay, now it will place on top in here. Since this object is behind, it will come like this in here. Okay, all right. Now let's go in here and let's make them a little bit more smaller, like this. All right, and now let's draw the legs. For the legs, I'm going to use a rectangle in here and draw a shape like this. Okay, and select these and make them as rounded corners first. All right, now I can bring this one a little bit towards inside like this. Let's bring them a little bit more longer. Go into the plus anchor point, add anchor point, and create a new anchor point in here. And this one, let's bring it inside a bit. And this one, create one more in here. This one, let's bring towards outside like this. Okay, a little bit more. This one also you can bring a little bit more towards inside. Now we can make this one as rounded corners like this. Maybe let's bring it towards outside a bit like this. This one also you can make as a rounded corners and all the way to the top. Alright, so now we are getting the shape of the leg. Maybe these two must come in a bit like this. Okay, and let's select this anchor point and let's bring it towards outside like that. Alright, and now let's select this one in here, and I'm going to draw a shape like this in here to cut this one into two pieces. Okay, select this one in here and go to the pathfinder and cut it into two pieces. Now we have this as two pieces. We can ungroup this one, right click and ungroup, and for this I'm going to get the colors from here. Okay, maybe from here. All right, and this one, let's go and adjust and change the shape a bit. Okay, for this I'm going to bring this one towards inverse like this. Now this anchor point, now we can adjust a bit like this. So this will be the bottom portion of the leg. And now let's go in here and draw a shape from here the way to here like this. All right, now select these two objects and make as one object, and now we can bring this as a rounded corner. Also this one we can bring it a little bit towards inside like that. Okay, all right, so now we have this shape in here, and let's make this one as a rounded corner, and this one also make as a rounded corner using the base here. Okay, we can bring this one invert, both of them invert a bit like this. All right, so now we are getting the shape we wanted. Finally I'm going to draw something like this in here. Okay, maybe start from here like this. And for this, I'm going to get the colors, press I, and from here select the direct selection, go arrange and bring it backwards like this. All right, now we can adjust this one a bit also, maybe bring towards inside, and this one we can bring it towards inside like this. Okay, and let's close this one nicely like that. All right guys, we have the shape we wanted. Let's make this one also rounded corners, this one in a bit like this. Okay, so we have our leg. Maybe this one we can bring it towards upside and make it bigger. I think this proportion is okay. Side a bit. And let's go in and add in another new anchor point in here. And this one, let's bring it towards outside like this. And we can make this as a rounded corner. We can bring all of them towards outside like this. Okay, this look more like a leg now. All right guys, so we have our leg. Now select this and Control G to make a group. And again guys, if you want to animate these, you have to make them in a new layer. Okay, now go into the reflect tool, double click and make a vertical copy. All right, now this one, let's bring it in here and make like this. She's sitting comfortably in the computer, so we can bring it like this and be like this. Okay, and this one, let's bring it in here, arrange, bring it to front. This again, make it smaller and do like this. All right, so we have the shape we wanted. All right, so now we have the shape we wanted, and maybe for this, let's change the color to lighter tone, maybe around here. Okay, so now it's clear, the legs are clear, and this one, let's apply a darker tone like this. All right guys, this look better now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another ellipse in here like this, and one more in here like that, and these two, select both of them, right click, arrange, bring to back. Okay, if you guys want to have a bit more detail, you can select one of these and bring it a little bit more darker than the other one, so we have this nice detail inside also. All right guys, so the lady, the shape is okay. Maybe we can select, maybe this one we can bring a little bit more bigger like this, and it's too big now, like this is fine. All right guys, so now we have the lady ready, so we can select all of them and make a group, Ctrl G, and make it a little bit more smaller. So this will be the center character. Let's bring it to the center. Now let's draw the objects around this character. Now let's draw the sofa. Okay, for this I'm going to select a new layer, and we can lock all other layers. I'm going to name this one as furniture. Okay, for this I'm going to select the rectangle again, and I'm going to draw a rectangle like this in here until here maybe. All right, now Let's apply this darker shade of yellow, and let's bring this one in here. Select both of these edges and make as rounded corners like this. Now I'm going to draw an ellipse in here, like this in here. Let's bring it towards here, and another rectangle. I'm just trying to draw the sofa shape, guys, nothing more, like this. Select both of them and go to align and align into one side like this. Make sure this area is not overlapping, so let's bring it like this. Okay, just nice. Select both of them, make as one object, and now we can make this one as a rounded corner also. This one also same. Okay, now we can bring it in here. Maybe let's keep it in here like this, and we can make a copy, vertical copy, and let's bring this one in here like this. Okay, select both of them and align them to the bottom like this. All right, now we can have one more in here like this. Bring it towards here like this. Select these two and make as one object. Now select all of them and align them to the center. Now we can make all of these as one object, and let's go in here, both of these points, and make them as rounded corners, and these also make them as rounded corners like this. All right, now we can have the quotient separately. Let's just make something like this in here. Bring it little bit outwards, little bit overlapping, and we can bring this one to the top like this. Okay, and all of them select center again, and for these what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a darker shade of this yellow. Okay, maybe around here. All right, and this one we can make these as round corners like this, and make a copy, make it bigger. Now we can cut them into separate pieces, and this one we don't need. And for this bottom portion, I'm going to get the color from here, but I'm going to make it a little bit more darker than the other side. All right, and this, let's bring it towards outside like this, and we can again make this little bit more curvier. Okay, and again make a copy or drag, make it smaller, and for this one apply the color from here. Okay, so now we have some depth to the sofa as well. Maybe let's bring it like this. All right, maybe like this. All right, so now we have the sofa, which looks like a sofa now, and select this again, double click. Now I'm going to cut this portion from here all the way to here. Draw a line, select both of them, again go to Pathfinder and cut it as two objects. And for this object, now we can apply this color from here. And one last one, we have to draw the legs also. One in here, and again to make the consistent, we can make this one also as a rounded corner, and alt drag and place it in here. Select both of them and make a line to the top and make as one object. Now select all and align them to the center. Okay, select everything. Maybe now we can adjust the proportions a bit. I think, yeah, this size looks better now. Maybe let's bring it a little bit higher and smaller like this. Okay, all right. So now we can select all of these and make as one group. So this will be the sofa, and let's think we need to make all of them smaller for our artwork. Go to layers, unlock these two layers, select both of them and make it a little bit more smaller like this. Okay, this size look better, and we can center them. And I think, yeah, we can adjust the size later, guys. It's vector art after all. Lock this character layer again. Now I'm going to draw that side table in here. Okay, and for this I'm going to draw a rectangle like this in here, and we can bring these inside a bit. Again, you can control K, and in here I'm going to select 20 and select this anchor point and bring it inwards. This one also inwards. Now we select these and make as rounded corners, and make it a little bit more thinner also. All right, and now go into the rectangle and draw a rectangle like this. All right, and control K again. This time I'm going to make it 5, and this one inside 1, inside 1. Now select both of them and make as rounded corners. Maybe this one in here, one in here. Now I'm going to make two copies. Alt drag and place it in here one. Alt drag, place it in here one. Okay, select all of them, align them to the top. Now go to the direct selection tool, and this one, let's bring it like this in here, and this one like this, and this one little bit like this. All right, and let's bring it below. Okay, for this we can bring this one little bit inwards, this one also little bit inwards. Okay, and this we can bring towards here. Select all of them and make them smaller like that. Maybe let's bring this one like that. I want to have them in the straight line, so let's bring it like that in here. Okay, and let's draw a shape like this in here. Let's bring it and cover all three portions, all three legs. And now I'm going to draw a line like this, and this one let's bring it a little bit more wider and thinner, and bring it towards inside. Select all of these with the line and make a cut. Okay, and for these portions I'm going to apply a darker tone. All right, and select these, right click, arrange and send it to front. And lastly, select these two and make them as rounded corners like this. Okay, now we have the side table, and Ctrl G, make as one group, and we can resize and bring it in here. Maybe in here like this. Okay, and let's place the cup rectangle, a simple shape like this, and for the bottom portion make them as rounded corners. Top, select both of them, make it a little bit rounded corners, very little small area like this. Okay, all right, And again, I'm going to make another rectangle like this. This time I'm going to convert this to stroke object and go to the properties and increase the stroke width to maybe 8. It's all depend on the size of the artwork, guys, so you have to keep the proportions right. And you can place it in here. Again, select these two and make them as rounded corners. Once you are done, we can go to object and expand. And for this object, we don't need to select the fill color because there is no fill color. Select the stroke and expand. Now we can select both of them and make it one object. All right. Now we can place that in here. And for this, I'm going to get the colors from here as well. Now, the last furniture of the plant. And again, I'm going to stick to the furniture layer. And now I'm going to draw a simple plant like this in here. The plant, this will be the pot. Again, I'm going to make this one Control K. And let's make this one as 10 or maybe 15. Enter. 1. This side 1. Okay, looks good. Let's make it like this in here and place it in here. And copy this, double click and copy, Control C and Shift Control V. Sorry, Control V and make it a little bit more bigger like this and place it in here. Okay, now you can double click and go to the direct selection tool and make this one as smaller like this in here. Okay, this will be the tray where the water will go and stay in from the pot. Okay, and this one is the pot, and for this I'm going to get a lighter tone like this in here, and you can select both of them and align them to the center. And one more thing in here like this, select all of them, center, and draw a shape, another line, draw a line like this and cut this one into 2 pieces. And for this top piece, hit the color from here and again select this, right click and arrange center front. Okay, and you guys can make them as little bit rounded corners like this. Okay, so this will be same as this one in here. Okay, and this one will be the frontmost layer. Select all of them, Ctrl G. Okay, so we have our plant pot, and make sure all of these are aligned to the bottom. Okay, this one also need to come down a bit, and Ctrl K, make it 1 again, 1 pixel, and bring it down like that until it touches the table. Okay, this look fine. All right, so now the last thing I want to do is I want to draw the plants. All right, guys, so let's make the leaves. I'm just going to stick to the pen tool again. I'm going to draw a simple leaf shapes like this. Just one in here, like this will do. And all right, let's place it like that, and maybe one more other side. Like this. Just a simple wavy leaf or plant shape in here, nothing complicated. Okay, and now let's bring this one to the front. Select both of them, right click, arrange and send it backwards. Okay, And for them, what I'm going to do is, for this I'm going to get the colors from here, and let's make them a little bit more smaller. All right, select all of them, bring it here a little bit closer. Okay, and in here let's have some details. I'm going to start from here like this, and for this I'm going to get the colors from here and make it as a stroke. Go to the properties and increase the stroke size to 6, and in the stroke profile I'm going to select this one in here. Okay, so we will get so that we will get something like this, and we can turn this around. We want the thicker portions below, so you can go in here and change this like this. So we have the thicker portion here and thinner portion on top. Same for the other leaf also. You can double click to open and draw a shape like this, a stroke. And get the colors from here. Again, make it as a stroke and make this one maybe 8. And again, apply the stroke profile, this one in here, and change it to other side. All right, maybe we can bring this one a little bit outside so we can see the leaves like this. Alright guys, so we are done with our furnitures in the scene, and now let's go into the layers and create, you can lock this furniture layer for now and create a new layer below the furniture. This one will be the background of house. Okay, so I'm going to make it as home, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a shape like this, straight line here until here, and from here onwards I want to draw a shape like this. This is just the background of the artwork. Like this. All right. And for this, I want to apply the color from here. Okay. And we don't need a stroke color. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the windows, something like this. And for this, I'm going to get the color from here. Or drag to make a copy, and 2 more below. Select all of them, make as a group. Now you can adjust the size and place it in here like this. All right. Okay, maybe let's bring this one Control K, make it 5. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, so we will have the same space everywhere. All right, and one more detail in here. Just going to draw a poster like this, and Control C and Shift Control V, make it smaller. And this one I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. Just draw a line from here to here. Okay, and this one you have to make it to the corner like this. Now select both of them. Now you guys can go in here and cut it into 2 pieces. Now select this and to the behind shape and cut this portion from the behind shape. Okay, so this look like a wall picture on the wall in here. Okay, this is some extra details. So let's add in some details, and before that let's make them little bit more nicer. This doesn't look nice with the background. Okay, let's make it little more curvier. Maybe it will make it little bit more nicer. Okay, and let's bring this one almost here. This one to here. And this one, this one like this in here. All right. All right, guys, this look good, but I want to add in little bit more details to this background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to stroke and going to draw some lines in here. Okay, just a decoration in here, nothing much. You can just do like this and one line in here like this and one more in here like this and one like this. These are just to blend in with the background nicely, guys, nothing much here. Like this. Maybe let's close it in here. Okay, now you select all of these lines and put a stroke and make them as maybe 50 and go to the stroke profile and in here let's apply this one in here. Okay, so now we have lines like this. Okay, now you can select all of them and object expand appearance. Now we can select all of them and make as one group. Alright, send to back and Ctrl G, one group. So now we have this nice looking background in here, and for this one I'm going into colors, or I'm going to get the colors from here. Okay, and select this and go to the properties and make the opacity to maybe 5. All right, so now we have nice a shadow of a background in here which will go with our design. Okay, so we are almost done with the main characters and main portions. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and double click. Let's bring this head a little bit more smaller. It's look way too bigger than the body. So let's bring it a little bit smaller like this. I think this look fine. Then place it in here. All right, this look proper proportions. All right, guys, I think this look fine now, and maybe let's bring this one a little bit below like this. Okay, center to this one. Okay, guys, so before we go into the next phase, this artwork is for a product related to internet. Okay, so we are advertising the internet product and their corporate colors are this. Okay, so that's why I stick to these colors in here. So I want to point one thing in here, guys. So we have used this like pink tone as a prominent color and yellow as a background. So these two are their primary marketing colors. So what I want to do is now I'm going to draw their product in here. I won't draw the actual product. I will just draw a box for this artwork sake. But I will draw the actual product in the final artwork in here. And from here, we will have all these things to show that there's no limit with their things. Is only limited to your imagination. Okay, so that's the end goal of this artwork. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. It's a straightforward message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going into this furniture layer, and for this I'm going to get the colors in here. So I'm applying a secondary color for this one because I don't want this cup to be the primary focus area. I want the product which we are trying to market is the prominent one. Okay, so I'm going to lock this one here and I'm going to create a new layer. In here we will have all these objects. Okay, and let's log all of them and let's go in here. So let's assume this will be the product, something like this. Okay, and just a box in here. So you can think as a router. Okay, probably this is a router company's advertisement or something like that. Okay, and in here I'm going to make this one as a rounded corner also, and I'm going to make one box in here, and this one will have a different color. Let's apply the proper colors, align them to the center, go to colors and apply this color in here. And for this I'm going to apply a darker tone, or we can get the color from here as well. Okay, and for this one also I'm going to get the color from here, and these two, let's make them as rounded corners. Okay, so this will be our primary focus. Okay, Control G. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw all of other objects, all of these objects in there as well. Okay, all right, so let's start with the planet. I'm going to draw a ellipse in here, just an ellipse, and another ellipse like this. Okay, and let's bring it in here. Now I'm going to make a copy or drag and this make it a little bit more smaller, and maybe let's apply a different color so we can see them easily. So you can place them like this, maybe a little bit bigger. This look fine, and we can bring this one a little bit like this in here. Okay, now we can select all of them and we can cut down the top portion from the below one. All right, now you can bring this one in here, place it like this, and for this I'm going to get the color from here, and for this I'm going to get the color from here. All right, let's bring it smaller like this. Okay, select both of them and center them, and you can bring this one towards upside. Control C and Shift Control V, and for this you can apply the color from here. Now you can select both of these objects and cut them into individual pieces. So all of these are individual pieces now. Now we can double click and delete these objects. We don't need them, this one and this one. Okay, now this is the shape we are looking for. This look good, and this is the planet shape I'm looking for. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some circles like this in here. 1, 2, 3. So it will look like a planet. All right, and we can have some more shapes in here as well, and for this I'm going to make like that. All right, maybe one more in here. Okay, once you are satisfied, Control G, make as one object, and you can rotate them maybe like that. Okay, all right, so one shape in here. The second shape what I'm going to draw is the pencil. All right, and for that I'm going to draw a rectangle like this, and select these two anchor points and make it as rounded corners, maybe like this. And now we can go in here and draw a polygon, click on it and make it as a three-sided and make a polygon. Then you can bring this one like this in here and bring it towards here. Okay, and this one maybe let's bring it a little bit more smaller, and again I'm going to draw a rectangle like this in here, and for this I'm going to get the color from here, and for these I'm going to get the colors from here, and for this one I'm going to get the color from here. Okay, or maybe here. Okay, this look better, and we can have one more copy or drag, and for this I'm going to get the color from here, and let's zoom in make it smaller and place it in here. So something like this. Okay. So sometimes when you activate this, sometimes when you have these guides on, you will have this problem because of pixels. So select this and go to view and off the snap to pixels. Now you try, now you should be able to bring this one nicely like this. Okay, so what is happening earlier was trying to snap to the pixel. Because this object is very small, it couldn't find the pixel, so it's going to the next object. So that's the problem. Now we can go and on the snap to pixel. Okay, all right, and one more detail in here. I'm going to draw one more box like this. Now you can select all of them and center them, and for this, and this look fine, and you can select all of them and make as one object. All right, okay, now we can place this one in here, and let's make one copy from this planet and paste it in here like this. And we don't need this. I'm deleting this one, so it's a different planet. And what else we can have? We can have a light. Okay, for the light, I'm going to draw an ellipse like this in here, and a rectangle. Select both of them and make as a center to each other, and you can now make both of these and go to Pathfinder and make as one object, and select both of these anchor points and make them as rounded corners. Okay, now we can go in here and select the rectangle again, draw a rectangle like this. Okay, and this rectangle alt drag and make it a little bit more thinner, place it in here, and alt drag. Now select all of them. Again, you have to center them properly. Now you can select all of them and go to direct selection tool and make as rounded corners like this. Okay, and go in here and draw one more shape like this. And for this, I'm going to select this, Control K, and we can make it 5 is fine, and 1, 2, and here 1, 2. Okay, and select them as rounded corners. All right, now you can select all of them and make as one group, one object, and maybe we cut this one as a separate portions. Go to the pen tool and draw a one, and shift or the shift key to draw the straight line, and we can cut these two into two portions. And for this object, you can select this portion by direct selection tool and get the colors from here, maybe. Okay, maybe here. All right, and now again we can go into the pen tool and draw the light shape, one line in here and one line in here. Select both of them and get the colors from here. Okay, make it a stroke. You can bring the stroke width to 3, and now you can go in to the pen tool and draw the shape of those coils like this. Okay, 1, 2, okay, and this one we can bring it below like this is fine. All right, guys, we have our light shape also. Select them and Control G. You can make it smaller and you can rotate it around like this. All right, This one we can bring it to maybe 1. Okay, and one last object is the book. I think it's a book. I forget to draw a book. Let's draw a book. Okay. Okay, so just a simple book shape in here using the pen tool, and in here and in here like that. You see, these are the pages, and again get the colors from here, and the second page will be something like this. Okay, for this I'm going to get the color from here, and one more in here. And for this I'm going to get the color from here, and right click and arrange, send it to back. All right, and let's have a cover also, starting from here, maybe like this, and close this and go in here. Okay, and for this I'm going to get the color from here. One more this side, same shape, and all right, now select both of them, right click, arrange, send it to backwards. All right, so now we have the book also. Select it and Control G. We can make it smaller, and we can place it like this in here. Okay, all right guys, so what I'm going to do now is okay, let's place this one in here, this one closer to these objects. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, you see, the important part in here is we are getting all these things from this object in here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a shape like this to cover all of them, to send the message that all of these are from this device in here. So that is the main message we are trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to create a new layer underneath this object layer, and again I'm going to select the pen tool and draw a shape like this. Okay, let's start from here. Just a random shape guys, nothing fancy in here, just to cover all of these objects. Okay, something like that. Maybe let's start from here now, something like this. Okay, all right, so we can close this one in here. Now let's adjust them nicely. I want smooth corners, not pointy corners, something like this. This one, let's bring it like this in here. Maybe this one also we can bring it like this. All right, and this one like this. Maybe bring it in here. All right. Okay. Something like that. So let's bring towards inside like this. All right. Okay. Okay. Now we can bring it below. All right, and for this I'm going to apply a darker tone. This color looks fine, just need to change the tone to a darker tone. Okay, so let's bring the brightness towards darker side. All right, you can even get the color from here actually. Okay, and again let's bring this a little bit more curvier, and again stick to our branding and these small things in here. I'm going to draw some lines like this. Okay, one in here and one in here. Let's close it in here, one in here. All right, and one in here. I'm just placing them randomly, guys. Nothing as planned here. I'm just placing these lines in random order, and later we see what we can do. Okay, maybe one in here also. All right, maybe last one in here. Okay, now we can select all of them except we can go and lock this layer. We can select all of them except this one, and can convert it to lines and go to properties. Again, I'm going to say 8 and go to the stroke profile and apply this stroke profile. All right, okay, now we can select all. This one no need. Object, expand appearance, and we can even go into object and path and simplify. So we stick to the auto simplify, so we will have less anchor points in here. Now we can adjust them nicely like this. Okay, all right, maybe, yeah, okay, looks good. Now let's go in here and let's change this color to this one in here. Okay, let's make them bigger also. Okay, this one. All right, lock this one, select these and make as one group. Okay, all right, so now we can select all of them except this one in here and make it little bit more bigger like this. Let's bring until here so we will have proper proportions, and let's bring it towards upside also. Okay, all right, all right, now let's make them unlock everything except the background, and this one also we don't need to unlock. Select all of them and let's bring it a little bit smaller and place it in the center like this. Let's unlock this one also. Let's all of them and bring it in here like this. All right, and now I think I will change this color to this one in here. Okay, yeah, this look better. And now what I want to do is let's add in a little bit more detail. Okay, so I'm going to copy this alt drag, and for this I'm going to apply the color from here. Okay, and we don't need this one, and now we can make this one as one object also. Let's bring it in here like this, like this in here. Okay, all right, now we can copy, Ctrl C and Shift Ctrl V we can bring this one here to the object layer, and we only need the overlapping portion. Okay, so let's can divide it, and now double click, we can copy this portion, Control X, and we can delete this one, and Shift Control V, and for this I'm going to paste the color from here. All right, and bring it backwards, arrange and bring it backwards. All right, okay, same for this one also. This one we can simply just draw a line like this also, like this, and we can just right click, arrange and bring it backwards. All right, and for this one also we can draw a shape, a round shape like this. Okay, and bring it in here and bring it behind. So our shadow will come from here, so we stick to something like this in here. All right, again we can copy this and double click, Shift Control V, and cut this, Control X. Now we can delete this, Shift Control V, get the colors from here, and let's bring it behind, arrange, send it to back. Okay, yeah, this look fine, but this one need to be a little bit more thicker, so I go like this. Okay, all right, and this one, drag it here, make it as one object. We need a stroke, not the stroke, fill color. Again, bring it in here and place it like this. We can make it bigger also, and Control A, no, we copy this one first, Control C, Shift Control V, and bring it to the top layer. You can get the same color. Now again we can cut this, and we need only this portion. Select this, delete. Now Shift Control V, we should place it in here. This should come on the top layer, and right click, arrange and to back. All right, this one actually looks like the shadow, so we can stick to that one. Okay, all right guys, looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some add some details to these shapes in here as well, so I can lock them and unlock the furniture layer. And I'm going to draw, you have to select the furniture layer, and I'm going to draw a shape like this in here. For this I'm going to get the colors probably from here, and then we can make it a little bit more darker also. All right, and I'm going to draw a line like this. Let's go in and select the line in here. Okay, and draw a line in here and in here. Select both of these lines and apply the color. Get the color from here and convert it to a stroke. Go to the properties and make it as 6, and we can give a stroke profile, this one in here, and can make it as a group. And now you select both of them and center them. Okay, now you can unselect this and go to the rotation tool, double click, and we want 25-degree, and make a copy. Okay, now I'm going to repeat these again and again. For that we can easily go to edit, go to object and transform, and you can select transform again, or we can simply repeat the same thing by pressing Ctrl and D. Okay, Ctrl D, Ctrl D. You can repeat, and you will get this shape in here. All right, now we can select these in here just randomly, and just bring this one a little bit smaller than others. Okay, now we can select all of them, object expand appearance, and bring it smaller and make as one object. Okay, All right, one copy in here as well. Then select both of them and align them to the horizontal. All right, and one more thing in here. I'm going to draw the shadow. For that, first I'm going to draw a shape using the pen tool like this. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a oval shape, ellipse oval shape, and you can place one in here and one in here like this. First, select this and cut down the overlapping portion. Now you can go in here and place this one in here and cut down this portion also. Okay, so now here some shape like this, and for the corners I'm going to make as rounded corners. All right, and in here also we can make these two as rounded corners, and let's have a line in here, and for this line I'm going to get the color from here first, convert it to stroke and make it little bit more darker, and for this can increase the thickness. Okay, and also for the cap, select the stroke and make the cap as rounded corners. Okay, all right, and same in here as well. For this I'm going to draw a shape like this. Let's bring it a little bit below and get the colors from here, convert to stroke and make it a little bit darker than the original color, and bring it a little bit thicker like this. Okay, all right, and for this also we can make the stroke cap as rounded corners. All right guys, okay, and for this I'm going to add in another detail. Before that, let's make a copy, Ctrl C and Shift Ctrl V. So we have two layers in here, and for this I'm going to apply this color in here. Okay, and let's go in and draw a shape. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle like this, and I'm going to make these as rounded corners. Okay, and then I'm going to make a copy. You select the rotation tool and double click 90 degrees and a copy. All right, now select both of them and make as one object. Now select these corners in here and make this as rounded corners. All right, and now select this one. You can make it smaller. Okay, now go to select this one and go to object and pattern and make pattern. Okay, this will create a new pattern. You say okay, and we want something like that, but we can increase the width and height to maybe 200 by 200. Okay, all right, so this look fine, and create this pattern as you can name it anything you want. I'm just going to select new pattern and okay. All right, now we can select this one and go to the patterns in here. The new pattern will be in here, so you can apply the pattern for this object. You have to select the fill color and apply the pattern. Okay, so now we can close it, but you can see the pattern is coming like this. So you can edit this easily. Select this, you go to the views and go to, sorry, for windows and go to swatches, and this is our current one, so we can bring this one to maybe 100 and 100. Okay, now we have this pattern like this in here. We can even double click and edit this size in here. Let's make it bigger and make it smaller like this. And we can make now this, we can make this one as 50 by 50. All right. Okay, so this is the pattern I'm looking for. Now we can copy this one again, Control X, and we don't need this. All right, so let's add in a little bit more detail to this pattern also. Double click again. Now we can paste it, zoom in, and now we can make a copy in here like this, and you can make it rotate. You can make it rotate 45 degrees like this. Okay, and what we can do is let's select this one and bring it in here, select this one and bring it in here. So we have this nice pattern. Now if we close, we have this pattern in here. Okay guys, and if you want, again you can double click and select this and change the color to white. Maybe not white, maybe let's change the color to this one in here. Okay, we will get this color in here, or we can change this to yellow. All right, this look better. Okay guys, so we have this shape with this nice pattern. Now you can make this opacity low also, and if you want to rotate this pattern, you can double click on this one, and this time you can select transform pattern only. You can make the preview. We don't need to transform the object. So now you can rotate the pattern. Okay, this look better, and say okay. All right, now we can close this one. Let's add in a little bit more detail to this character. After that we are done. Okay, now unlock the character layer, and I want to add in some lines in here. Select the character layer and draw some lines like this, just to show that the light is coming from here. So you can see the pattern is applying by default in here, so we don't need a color for the fill, and for the line we need to select the color, maybe the yellow color. Okay, and you can bring it in here and go to the properties, and for the stroke again I'm going to apply this one in here and going to bring the stroke, maybe let's stick to 1. Okay, now we can double click and we can break this one, add in one in here, one in here. We can delete this, and this one also we can add it one in between, and we can delete this in here as well. Okay, all right, and one last line which is going to be in here like this. For this also I'm going to apply the same profile, stroke profile. All right guys, I think our artwork is ready, and let's add one more thing in here, art shape. And for this I'm going to get the colors from here. Maybe let's get the colors from here and make it very light. This is the maximum we can go, and okay, and reflected copy, and we can paste this one in here. All right, select both of them, make as one object. Now we can bring this one like this in here. Okay, and let's bring it like this, and control. Now you can copy this, Control C and Shift Control V, and make it smaller, bring it here. And for this I'm going to get the colors from here. All right, looks good. All right guys, and I think this is good enough. And one last thing what I want to do in here is, let's go in here and select the pen tool, and I'm going to draw a line like this in here. Okay, like this, and one more line like this. Let's start from here all the way to here, like this. Okay, I'm going to close this one and select both of these lines and apply a color from here, and we need to convert this to stroke and go into the stroke and apply a dash line. Okay, all right, now we can adjust these. Actually, I want to bring this one like that, and for this I'm going to bring like this in here. Okay, I'm going to bring in here like this, and this one let's bring it like that. All right, and you guys can adjust the curveness. I'm going to adjust the curveness a bit, little bit more nicer, a better smooth curve. Okay, this one also like this in here. All right, okay, looks good. Now we can apply a stroke profile for these also. For this I'm going to apply this one in here. All right, and now let's go into the pen tool and draw a paper rocket like this. Okay, a shape, a rectangle shape, convert it to fill color, and for this I'm going to get the color from here. All right, and one more shape like this, and for this then bring this one a little bit more higher like that, and for this I'm going to get the colors from here, and the last shape will be like this, and for this I'm going to get the color from here. Oops, from here. All right, maybe I can bring this one a little bit more bigger like this. All right, select all of them, make it as one group, and you can make it smaller as well. Okay, and this one we can make it like this in here. All right, guys, I think this look good, and you guys can have more details in here if you want. You can have some lines, highlighted lines and stuff like that, and I'm not going to add in that for this design, so I will stick to this design for all of the other artworks also. And that's all about it, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video.